You know the script we've all been sold, right? Go to school, get a safe job, and just grind it out for 40 years. Then, and only then, you're finally allowed to enjoy your life. But what if that entire promise is a total scam? Well, today we're cracking open Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Workweek. And let me tell you, you should think of this less as a book and more as a jailbreak.
So, this is the fundamental conflict you gotta get. On one side, you have what he calls the deferrs. You know them. They're following that old script, saving up all their best years for retirement they might be too damn tired to enjoy. But on the other side, you've got the new rich. And believe me, they aren't deferring anything. They are actively designing a life of freedom and adventure, like right now.
Okay, to even get on board with this, you have to adopt a totally new mindset. You've got to be willing to question what everybody else just accepts as normal. I mean, let's be real for a second. If the popular path, working 9 to 5 until you're 65, actually worked, would so many people feel so incredibly trapped? This quote right here is our starting point. It's about challenging every single assumption we have about work.
All right, so challenging the system is great and all, but how do you actually escape it? The cool thing is, Ferriss doesn't just complain. He gives you a blueprint. It's a 4-step framework he calls DEAL, and it is the literal process for designing the life you actually want. So this is it. This is the roadmap to your new life, the DEAL framework. Here's how it breaks down. We're going to cover D for definition. That's all about changing the rules of the game. Then E for elimination, doing way less to achieve way more. After that, A for automation, building systems that work for you. And finally, L for liberation, breaking free from the office for good. All right, first up, D is for definition. Why? Because before you can even think about changing your life, you have to change your mind. This whole first step is about completely tearing down those old, broken definitions of wealth, success, and retirement that are probably holding you back. So who are these new rich people anyway? Look, it's not about having $1 billion in the bank. It's about using the currencies that actually matter, time and mobility. The real goal here is to have complete and total freedom over what you do, when you do it, and where in the world you do it. That is the new definition of wealth. I mean, just think about it for a second. What is the point of having $1 million in the bank if you're working 80 hours a week and you're literally chained to a desk? The new rich, they focus on lifestyle, not just money. They want the freedom of a millionaire, not just the big fat bank balance. This idea just completely flips the old definition of wealth on its head. So let me ask you, who's more powerful? Is it the banker who makes $500,000 a year but works 80-hour weeks? Or is it the person making just $40,000 a year but with total and complete freedom over their time and location? See, it's about relative income, not absolute income. Money is just a tool, and its real value comes from the freedom it buys you. Okay, so how do you actually figure out what you want? This is where it gets really practical. You use a tool called dreamlining. Instead of having these vague dreams like, I want to travel more, you get brutally specific. What do you want to have, be, and do in the next 6 months? Then, and this is the key, you put a real monthly price tag on every single item. All of a sudden, your fantasies become a clear mathematical problem that you can actually solve. And here's where the magic happens. When you actually do the math, that quote-unquote impossible dream life, leasing an Aston Martin, taking a trip to Croatia, having a personal assistant, it suddenly has a target number. In Tim's own example, it was just under $6,000 a month. Now, don't get me wrong, that's still real money, but it's not millions. It's a concrete, achievable target. Okay, so you've defined your target. Now you need to find the time and the focus to actually hit it. And that brings us to the next letter, E, for elimination. This step is all about ruthlessly, and I mean ruthlessly, cutting out all the stuff that doesn't matter so you can make room for what really does. The secret weapon for elimination is something you've probably heard of, the 80-20 rule, also known as Pareto's principle. And it's shockingly simple. 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. So your job, your mission, is to figure out what that critical 20% is. Which customers, which tasks, which activities, and then eliminate, or at the very least, drastically minimize the other 80% that's basically just noise. Now this is a powerful reframe. So many of us have been taught that being busy is some kind of badge of honor. Ferriss argues it's the exact opposite. He says being busy is a form of laziness. It's a sign that you haven't done the hard strategic thinking to figure out what's actually important. Remember, true productivity is about being effective, not just being active. So how do you actually eliminate all that distraction? You go on what he calls a low information diet. That means you stop mindlessly consuming news and media that's irrelevant, negative, or totally unactionable. You reclaim your focus by asking one simple question before you consume any piece of information. Will I use this for something immediate and important? I guarantee you, most of the time, the answer is a hard no. All right, so you've defined your goal, you've eliminated all the waste. Now for the part that feels like actual magic. A, for automation. This step is all about building a machine, a system that generates income for you, so you are no longer involved in every single task. But, and this is super important, there's a critical rule here. Automation is not about getting someone else to do your busy work. It's about magnifying your efficiency. So the golden rule is this. First, you eliminate every single task that isn't absolutely necessary. Only then do you look to automate or delegate. What's left? If you skip that first step, you're literally just paying someone to be inefficient for you. So the decision process here is actually really simple. For any task that comes across your desk, you first ask, can this be eliminated? If the answer is no, then and only then do you ask, okay, can this be automated or delegated? The whole goal is to remove yourself as the bottleneck. You want to become the owner of the system, not just another cog in the machine. So what's the engine that powers this whole automated lifestyle? It's something Ferriss calls a muse. The easiest way to think of it is as a small, highly specialized business, a lot of times selling an information product that can be almost entirely automated. It is designed from the ground up for one purpose, to generate cash without consuming your time. And the best part is, building one of these doesn't require some world-changing genius idea. The blueprint is actually pretty simple. First, you find a niche market you can serve. Second, you create a simple information product for them. Third, you test it with a few cheap online ads. And finally, you automate the entire order fulfillment process. The idea is, you build it once, and then it just runs on autopilot. And that brings us to the final glorious piece of the puzzle, L, for liberation. This is where you finally cut the cord, the one tying you to a single physical location. This is what gives you the freedom to live and work from literally anywhere in the world. And hey, even if you're a regular employee, liberation is still possible. But you don't just walk in and ask for it. Now, you build a strategic case. First, you use all those elimination principles to become an absolute rock star performer. Then you propose a short temporary trial period of remote work. And during that trial, you prove with data that your output actually increases when you're out of the office. You make it an undeniable no-brainer win for the company. Look, the whole purpose of liberation isn't just to work from home in your sweatpants. It's to fundamentally change your entire approach to life. Instead of hoarding all your free time for one giant retirement at the very end, you redistribute it. You take mini retirements. We're talking 1 to 3 month adventures all throughout your life. Go learn to tango in Argentina. Go learn to scuba dive in Thailand. Do it now, not later. And that really brings us to the ultimate question that this entire framework is designed to help you answer. If you removed the obligation of just working for the sake of working, and you freed up all that time, what would you actually do with it? Because it's not about doing nothing. It's about having the absolute freedom to do anything. So if you're ready to stop deferring your life and finally start living it, make sure you subscribe to Lazy Reader. We're the ones giving you the blueprint to escape the grind.